So cube power is related to cube root, and they're related because they are opposites. Okay, they undo each other. So cubing is taking length and edge and making it volume. Cube rooting takes volume, the number of cubes, and making it an edge length. So these are our perfect cubes. So 1 cubed is equal to 1. 2 cubed is equal to 8. 3 cubed is equal to 27. 4 cubed is equal to 64. And so that means then if I cube root the volume, I get an edge length of 1. Cube root a volume of 8, I get an edge length of 2. Cube root a volume of 27, I get an edge length of 3. Cube root 64, I get an edge length of 4. And we want to be able to put these on a number line. So the cube root of 1 is 1, so we put it right with the 1 on the number line. The cube root goes where the 2 is on the number line. Cube root of 27 goes where the 3 is on the number line, and all the way up to the cube root of 216 is where 6 is on the number line. So we could cube root these numbers. So finding the cube, make sure you know where the cube root button is on your calculator. So when we cube root, if I cube root 24, I start with, this is not a perfect cube, by the way. So we will need our calculator to get the edge length. The edge length will not be a whole number. So if we have 24 cubes, we can't make that with individual cubes. So we're going to have an edge length that's not quite whole, and we're going to get an edge length of 2.884. So I'm just going to round that to 88. And the cube root of 24 should be somewhere between 8 and 27. In fact, it's pretty close to 3, and it ends up right there. The cube root of 24 ends up on the number line right there, just less than cube root 27. So do that again. Find that for the cube root of 51. And we should expect the cube root of 51 to be somewhere in between here. Okay, so when we do that on our calculator, the cube root of 51 ends up being 3.708. So I'm going to round that to 71. And indeed, it is somewhere in between 27 and 64. Again, make sure you put the little cube, the 3 there, to indicate cube root. So cube root of 100, we should expect that to be between 4 and 5, since it's 100 is between 64 and 125. So cube root 100, and again, this is not square root. Square root 100 is 10, but the cube root of 100 is not 10. It is 4.641, so I'm going to round that to 64. So maybe somewhere around here on the number line. And then lastly, if I want to do cube root of 180, cube root of 180 gives me 5.646. So I'm going to round that to 65. And so we're going to end up with cube root 180 is going to be between 125 and 216. So cube root 180 we can place on the number line here. So we're going to use our calculator, get the decimal value, and then we can place that on the number line.